อืม Well, shit, dog. Ah, shit. Let's get it.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to the 1v1 show where nerd culture and pop culture clash. I'm your host, Mikey, along with.
Geo Huey Flow.
And if this is your first time here, what we do here is go down. Hold on. We start off by talking about one or two topics for the first half hour, and then after that, we go through a bunch of news from this week, such as Pokemon, the Super Bowl, Demon Slayer, and UFC. And for our main topics, we have WandaVision and PS5. So let's start off talking about. Oh, what's up, Kaneo? Hey, we're going to talk about. Wait, hold on. I did not. We're going to talk about WandaVision. The latest episode. Did you see the latest episode of WandaVision, Gio?
Yeah, I did. It was really, really. How do I say this? Honestly, if you're not watching WandaVision, you need to start watching it. Because the first two episodes, I wouldn't say left me cold. I saw what they were going for, but now you can fully see that this is an MCU level event. It is insane, especially those last moments. Blew my mind.
Yeah, I would say the biggest magnitude, or the closest thing I can compare to what just happened in the latest episode of WandaVision and to the MCU, in my opinion, like, it had the biggest change since Winter Soldier when Hydra took over and then, like, changed the MCU forever.
Now, here's the thing with that, though. Like, with no spoilers, we're not sure if this is like a kind of like a long-lasting effect, or if this is something that's just like a thing to the fans. Kind of like a maybe like akin to a cameo of sort.
Yeah, I don't know. And then hold up, there's also some ad notes. What do you think it means for the universe without spoiling it somehow?
What this it's been said, this isn't a spoiler, it's been said that WandaVision ties directly into Doctor Strange, the Madness of Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And what it means is, well, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without spoiling it. But
what?
Here, go ahead.
What I would say is, like, it made me. Where are you going? 1,000 times more excited for the movies. Right?
Sorry, what was that? Something happened.
No, but I was just saying that it made me 1,000 times more excited for the movies now. Like, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man 3 kind of makes sense now. Like,
right? No, it does.
Yeah. And also it made me really, really excited because this also it made me understand Morbius a little bit.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I was like, oh shit. So that means the implications of what happened in the last episode.
But like I said, we still don't know if it's a long lasting effect or if it's going to be just like a quick shout out to the fans, because like in the comic books, right? If you don't know Scarlet Witch,
Mm-hmm.
right? Scarlet Witch in the MCU so far, she has telekinetic and powers that allow people to hallucinate, right? But in the comics, her powers are actually that she can shift and bend reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we're seeing is kind of a full realization of the Scarlet Witch or Wanda's powers. Which, honestly, that could be anything.
And I was watching videos of Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda, interviews of her and the cast, and the way she was speaking about the show, she was saying fans who love Scarlet Witch are going to be so happy and vindicated. And then people are like, oh shit, what does that mean? And people are insinuating House of M. And can you just give us a rundown on what House of M is?
Well, real quick, okay.
What?
So House of M, there's actually an interview before WandaVision was ever even probably planned. This was during Ultron, during the press release with Elizabeth Olsen, and they were asking her, "Oh, like what do you want to do with this character?" And she said, "I want to do House of M." Right?
Ooh.
She said, "I want to do House of M, but I don't think Disney and Marvel would ever go that far." And it really seems like they're doing it. House of M is basically when Scarlet Witch using her using her reality bending powers, she basically deletes all mutants from existence. She erases the mutant gene. So,
But
what they're saying,
but there are no mutants in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
exactly. So what we're gonna see is we're gonna see how Disney is able to take elements from that storyline and adapt it to the MCU. So I'm excited. It seems like they are going that way because there is a lot of talk about grief and loss in House of M, and you can sense that from WandaVision, being that the person that she's often paired with, Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers for Endgame. No, not Endgame. Infinity War, which is what, 3 years old by this point.
Yeah.
So, spoilers for Endgame. Vision dies at the end of that movie. So,
Oh, shit.
what's up?
Oh no, that Vision died.
Oh, yeah. So you see the fact that Vision died in the end of the movie, but he's back here in WandaVision.
Well, this latest episode kind of gave us a little bit of answers to that, but didn't really outright answer it. The question.
No, exactly. They're still kind of peeling back a little bit of mysteries. And what I love about WandaVision right now is that there are so many little details that you can easily miss that are happening in the background. If you look at the boards, the different set designs, how things are changing and how things are there but not there, things that don't make sense. They're very much playing this kind of slow rolling storytelling where they're kind of feeding you hints one after the other,
So,
but very slowly.
so would you say WandaVision is a low key horror? Because Kania in the chat asked if it's a low key horror thing because she hasn't watched it and it gives her that kind of vibe.
No, I wouldn't say a horror vibe. Definitely, you have mystery, thriller type vibes.
Yeah, I would go
horror.
that route.
I wouldn't say horror yet. So if you're worried about horror stuff, I mean, you got to remember this is still the MCU. This is still,
I would say it's like the Twilight Zone of the MCU.
that's a good comparison. Yeah, I actually like that. Yeah, it's like one big long MCU Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, and it's pretty interesting. Like the first three episodes were like, okay, this is random. Okay, why is that happening? And then this current episode is like, oh, 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 and then you think about how it affects the universe, like this from that 5 seconds.
If I had to compare it to like something like The Wizard of Oz, right? The first three episodes were us seeing the giant head, and then the fourth and fifth episode was like, okay, we found the curtain. Now we need to see what's behind the curtain.
Yeah. Hey man, I don't want to spoil it. I almost did.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things where we got to be really careful about what we can say and what we can't say. But just know that it's so good. Paul Bettany's acting
Oh, it's so good. So good.
episode,
Yeah.
like the shock and anguish, and what's another word? Just kind of the intensity that he brings to this role.
Dude, yeah,
is-
Paul Bettany is a great actor. If you haven't seen A Nice Tale, I highly recommend it because that's probably my favorite role of his.
What else is he in?
Wasn't he in Wait, no, that was the other dude. I forget. But anyways, yeah, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen. Found it funny because each episode takes place in a phase like the 60s, 50s, and then 70s, and then I think this is 80s or 90s, right?
80s, right? It was definitely 80s. It was definitely Growing Pains type vibe.
Yeah, I was getting Full House vibes, and I thought it was funny because Elizabeth Olsen's older sister is Mary-Kate Ashley. Like, it looked like a
that's
Full House
right.
set.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, wow. And then Olsen on a Full House set, but it's not the twins.
Maybe we'll see how it goes next week, because I'm pretty sure this was like an 80s vibe. That's what I got. So maybe because Full House was a 90s show,
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah.
So maybe they'll go even further into that.
Or would you say it's like a meld of 80s and 90s?
I mean, it could be.
No, I don't know.
Because I think that 80s and early 90s sitcoms are very much kind of the same style.
Mhm.
I would say it wasn't until I want to say it wasn't until Friends and Seinfeld that you get like a whole different vibe of sitcoms from
Oh,
the
yeah,
90s.
you're right.
Because Full House does still feel very 80s. Like if you
Yes.
had no concept of Full House, and if I were to put Growing Pains and Full House right next to each other, you would say, "Oh, those were made in the same time."
Hmm.
Like you can tell with like Friends and Seinfeld that those were from a distinct era,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Going off of that, just a random question. How do you compare the DC animated universe to the X-Men universe?
The DC animated
Or
universe,
not
the X-Men universe?
DC extended universe. Cinematic
The X-
extended. Yeah.
Oh, to the Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? Honestly, I would say they were. I'd say they're pretty similar.
Really?
Yeah, in the sense that okay, you have it's kind of hard to I want to say in the sense that you had kind of a promising beginning,
Hmm.
right? The first X-Men movie, people were like, because comic book movies before the first X-Men were, besides the first Superman and the Keaton movie, the Batman Keaton movie, like superhero movies were kind of not seen as anything.
Yeah.
Right? So you have a promising beginning. I mean, Man of Steel wasn't a perfect movie, but I would say it was for sure a decent to solid movie.
Mhm.
Some people thought it was boring. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was one of those people.
And then I want to say the thing with DC is that it kind of had the MCU to compare it to, so it made some mistakes in trying to catch up along the lines. but I want to say they're similar in the fact that they had a promising beginning and just some bumps along the way, like some slumps. And even though they did find like a couple like good movies in that time frame, like
Hmm.
you know, me and you both really enjoyed Birds of Prey for DC.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. That's probably their best movie in my opinion.
And then I've heard good things about Shazam,
Oh
which
yeah, I
I
haven't
haven't
seen.
seen.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about Shazam, and I enjoyed Wonder Woman, even though you didn't care for it.
yeah,
Uh, but also with Fox, right? Like they have their string of good movies. Like X-Men 2 is good. X-Men 3 is kind of where
yeah. It fell
it
off.
starts falling apart. And then Days of Future Past was a good movie. And then actually before Days of Future Past, you had the Wolverine movie, right?
Oh yeah, Origins.
Origins, which people say that's probably one of the worst ones of the bunch.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. And I watched that like 4 times in like different versions
Why would you watch it 4 times?
because I watched the leaked version without when the CG wasn't done, and I was like, oh shit, I get to watch it 6 months early. So I watched that, and I was like, well, that was a bad movie. Maybe the CGI will make it better. And I watched it in theaters. It didn't. And then
No,
I waited for it to go on DVD, and then people made fan edits. I watched 2 fan edits, and I
still didn't
wasted a
work.
lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fox also had more time to build out the brand. I mean, the Deadpool movies were good, and I never watched the Wolverine. Did you?
No, I have not.
Um. Oh, I guess Ark in the Whack in the chat says Origins was terrible, but the Wolverine was surprisingly good. Yeah, I still need to see that one. Also, Logan was really fucking good.
Oh god, Logan was so good, so good.
Logan was top
It
five.
makes me want more Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
So we're almost done, but just to kind of end on this note, supposedly the rumor plot of Deadpool 3 was a Logan Deadpool road trip movie.
Yeah, and I would have been down for that. Actually, I don't know. We might be able to see that soon, but anyways, I don't know how to segue into the next one, but PlayStation 5. What's going on with that?
Okay, so apparently PlayStation 5, there has been sales numbers reported, but I think the bigger story is that Sony is planning on selling more PS5s than PS4s in its second fiscal year. So
What?
they're planning to sell over 14.8 million PlayStation 5s during the fiscal year, which is a time period of April 2021 to March 2022.
Oh damn.
Here's my question to you. Do you think that Sony can do it? Do you think, because the PS4 was a huge fucking success. In fact, you can argue that, Sony ran away with this generation as far as them versus Xbox.
Hell yeah, they did.
I mean, of course, Nintendo selling like hotcakes now because they're the best.
Yeah, yeah. And
But-
there's still children out there.
Fuck you. Anyways, you can say that. The thing is though, how will coronavirus impact this? Do you think that they'll be able to reach that milestone?
I don't know, but recently this week, Sony just said that it's kind of difficult to increase production on the PS5 because there's a shortage of the semiconductors and other components that make up the PS5. And they said, quote, "We have not been able to fully meet the high level of demand from customers, but we continue to do everything in our power to ship as many units as possible to customers who are waiting for a PS5." So yeah.
So it kind of seems like, I mean, we all know the struggle it was to get a PS5, right? Well, me and you both got one, but a bunch of people out there don't, right?
Yeah.
They weren't able to meet demand. People were buying them, and not only that, but if people were buying them, a lot of them were scalpers. And if you go online, you go on eBay, you'll see people posting up pictures of their room. having like multiple PS5s, like 10, 11, 12 PS5s, and selling them for double, triple the price. What's up?
No, I was bringing you closer.
Oh, did I move?
No, no, no.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
okay, for sure. But I mean, does Sony have a killer app coming out? Do they have killer software coming out that would draw people in to buy the PS5? Because a lot of their games are cross-gen.
Mm-hmm. True, but as a recent PSVR owner myself, a few months later, there's been rumors and patents for VR things, and people are thinking they might revolutionize the consumer version of VR, and then so they're thinking maybe a cordless version, inside out tracking, so you don't need wires, and yeah, it'll be like the Quest 2, Oculus Quest 2, but for PlayStation. So I think that might be the thing, maybe this holiday season or next year. But
So
do
do
they
you
have killer
think?
games coming out?
I mean, okay. So the big one that's supposedly coming out this year. There's two that they announced this year.
Mhm.
Horizon Journey West. Is that the title of it?
Oh yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn's sequel.
Yes, Horizon
Yeah.
Zero Dawn sequel and God of War Ragnarok were both announced for 2021. Honestly, do you believe that God of War 2 is coming out this
Uh,
year?
I don't know.
Because all they've shown from God of War 2 is a damn title sequence.
And
All they've
it
shown
looked
from
nice.
Horizon 2, all they've shown from Horizon 2 is a CG trailer. We have not seen gameplay for either of those.
Yeah,
Now,
but
Horizon,
it's the same developers from the original games. So like, I think the hype, they already had the fan base, and we were already hyped about it, and then maybe I don't know, maybe they think they could just like, oh shit, this is a shit game, we'll just market it last minute. Hopefully everyone will buy it, kind of like Cyberpunk ish.
well, Cyberpunk was in development for 7 years and was in a
True.
constant like hype cycle. But I would argue that if you own a PS4 and you can't get a PS5, like you can play Horizon on your PS4.
Oh yeah.
They're
Oh
coming out for cross gen.
yeah, and Miles Morales looks fine on PS4. It looks good. I've seen
Yeah, not
pictures and
everything
like
is
screenshots, and like it looks just as good as PS5.
it's not.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. Of
not
course, you're
as
not going
good,
to get
but
the.
yeah,
You're not going to get things like the ray tracing and the faster speeds and the faster
60
loading.
frames per second.
But Miles Morales look fine on PS4. Right? Not everything is a Cyberpunk situation.
Oh, and Last of Us 2, amazing on the PS4.
Right, exactly. It wasn't my 2020 game of the year, but it was still amazing.
It
But
deserved all the awards, but yeah.
anyways,
Oh, and I had. Wait, so you were saying?
I was saying that if the games look good on the PS4, and if you don't own a PS5, why would you buy one? Why wouldn't you wait until the games that are PS5 exclusives start coming out,
Mhm.
and there's a lot greater supply, so you don't have to wait in line to get one or be on your phone and like have your card information already typed in. And why would you deal with that stress? So
Yeah.
would you think they'll be able to reach this goal that they have of surpassing the PS4?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because I think it's clear that Sony has won the console war, and now everyone wants their hands on. Oh no, for the PS5. So like, I think it's like how Nintendo is for kids, PS5 is for adults.
You want to
But
make a
they're all
bet?
for gamers everywhere. What? Sure.
I'll bet you a burrito that they don't hit these numbers.
Okay. Free burrito for me.
Ah, fuck you. All right, so the number is they have to hit over 14.8 million from what's the fiscal year? It is from April 2001 to March 2002. So they have to hit 14.8 million by March 2002. I think they have too much stuff.
That's it.
Well, not overall units sold, but just in that time frame, they have to hit 14.8 million.
They'll pass that.
I just think with coronavirus,
People are going to be bored. People are collecting unemployment. They're getting a third stimmy on the way.
but what does it matter if no one can find it?
True, but the demand.
If no one can buy, if they can't sell these consoles to you, it doesn't matter how much money I have.
True. And they also did confirm that the hardware itself is being sold for less than it costs to make.
So we'll see. But yeah, all right. We'll see. We'll come back to this in about a year.
Okay.
No, well, a little bit more than a year. Kinea in the chat says if they want me to get one, release Jack 4. I kind of agree with that. Give me Jack 4. Give me Parappa the Rapper 3 with 20 songs written by De La Soul.
Oh yeah, that totally needs a PS5 update.
We totally need that on PS5. Parappa the Rapper. That's fuck The Last of Us, fuck God of War, fuck Ghost of Tsushima. What we really want, what true PlayStation fans really want, is Parappa the Rapper, Jak and Daxter, and Sly Cooper. And y'all can suck my dick.
Or Battlestars All Stars, right?
We got Smash Brothers, so we don't need that.
Yeah, but it just has better characters.
Shut the fuck up. No, they don't. Nintendo has Snell and Snake and Cloud.
Yeah,
on Smash.
because they're asking for Sony, give us more characters.
Sony asked for fucking for all those characters, and Konami and Square Enix both said no. So shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here.
Anyways.
Anyway. Like I said, I don't know. We'll see how if Sony's able to really get a move on with this, because honestly, what other games do they have coming out?
I don't know.
They got.
Looked at it.
They got Kena Bridge of Spirits, which looks cool.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
That looks like it. I don't want to say Pixar, but it reminds me of something. Bridge of Spirits is coming out. They got that Deathloop game. Deathloop looks sick.
Yeah, Deathloop looks really interesting.
I am all about that game. Arcane Studio.
Wait, no, that's not exclusive. Gotham Knights, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's going to be on Xbox too. But I'm excited for Gotham Knights. Play that 4-player combat. Squad up. They what else do they have coming out?
I can't tell what
Deathloop,
this
Returnal. Returnal is coming out in April, but it's either April or March. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that game.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank.
Yes, that game is. I bet you that's going to be a PS. That's a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah,
that's going to be.
The PS3 games look like a Pixar movie.
Exactly. So we're going to see like the showcase. That's going to be the showcase for the PS5. I feel like Ratchet and Clank, because all the games that they came out with, like Miles Morales was a cross-gen. Demon Souls is a remake. What else? What else came out? Sackboy was also cross-gen. Were those the only 3 PS5 games? No, there's got to be more.
I don't know. So I'm looking at a list. There's Returnal, which comes out in March.
Yeah, I'm not so hyped about that one.
And Yakuza 7 also comes out in March.
Well, that was released in November as a PS4, Xbox One game, but they're releasing the new gen version in March, which I'm probably going to pick that one up.
And then in May, we have Deathloop and Resident Evil 8.
Ooh, yes, I'm totally going to cop both of those.
Wait, is it? And are you going to get Stray, that cat game?
I don't know. If it was a dog, if it was a game called Stray that starred a poodle, it'd be instant cop. I don't know about these cats, man.
They be catting.
They be catting. Cats be catting, you know. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if they can hit these numbers. I mean, I'm sure they could, but I just think Corona is too much for them, especially with them themselves saying that, oh, you know, we can't increase the supply of the semiconductor. It almost seems like they're giving themselves an out if they don't hit these numbers.
Kind of. Yeah, it did kind of seem like that. And then there's also a Lord of the Rings Gollum for PS5
I have never even heard of that.
2021. Yeah, it's. I'm just looking at a list right now. And Project Athea by Square Enix.
Oh yes,
That's January 2022.
That game. Did you know that game is the story for that is written by Gary Whitta?
No, oh shit.
Yeah. Those of you who don't know, Gary Whitta is a screenwriter. He wrote the story for Rogue One. He also writes other Star Wars books. He writes comics. He's a cool guy. I follow his content. He also streams. I like that guy.
Yeah.
But
Kenya in the chat says, I would love to see more games rated teen and everyone because I want everyone to enjoy PS5, not just those in the mature category.
totally agree with you. I think also that certain games in the TE category lends itself more to certain genres that I enjoy, like platformers, action adventures, especially for people like me who, when we play video games, we're not good at, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not good at Twitch-based shooters. I'm not good at shooting games. I'm no bueno. I got stupid fingers. So I totally agree with you, Kinea. 100% on that one.
And then there's also Final Fantasy 16, but we don't know if that's coming out this year, most likely next year, maybe even 2023. Who knows?
There was talk that Final Fantasy 16 has been worked on by the team who made Final Fantasy 14: A Realm Reborn, and that's getting a lot of praise. People always talk about Final Fantasy 14 being one of the best online MMOs, and supposedly they were working on that game for a while, so it could come out this year, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Resident Evil Village is in 2021. Mad Addict.
And then there's also Elder Scrolls 6.
That's not coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Fuck no.
And then Indiana Jones games by Lucasfilm Games and Bethesda.
That's not coming out this year.
Yeah, probably not. But the Mass Effect games are. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, the Mass Effect trilogy, there's going to be a Legendary Edition with all 3 games installed and DLC. So, yeah, I'm going to pre-order that because I haven't played any of those.
I've never played the Mass Effect games. I did play all three Dragon Age games, and those are fantastic. And they're made by BioWare. They were made by roughly the same BioWare during the same year, so I'm excited for that.
All right, and so that brings us to the end of our main topics. Now we're gonna go into our subtopics where we talk about each topic for about 2 minutes or less, or like that's just our. It's more of a guideline more than rules, but yeah. So we're gonna start off with our first subtopic. Google Stadia is no longer serving the gaming industry. Well, let me set the clock here. Because they are shutting their doors. They're closing the studios in Montreal and in LA. And they're going to just focus entirely on the business side of things. So they're going to be canceling multiple projects, which are any games slated for release beyond a specific 2021 window. And those Google developers that were working on those games are going to be given other jobs within the company. So, like, I don't know how I would feel about that if I were them, but, I mean, they're giving them a job regardless afterwards. And even right now, Google Stadia is still operating at $10 a month. So, I don't know what they're planning to do with that service, but the company plans to begin offering a Stadia Tech to publishers, so it kind of opens up the possibility of Google Stadia to become a streaming tech for other video game companies, so they could like incorporate that into the game. So I don't know. Google Tech is feeling out the market, I guess, right now, and yeah, so I guess it wasn't never successful because they never offered a all you can play service or offered any great exclusive titles. Because I can't even think of any actually.
Well, not only that, but their services were like, okay, you can only run Stadia on this, like on a Pixel phone or on a this certain type of Chromecast. So it wasn't like all encompassing like they promised it would be.
Yeah,
Like you had to have certain specific models of stuff to run it.
yeah. So if you have a Google Stadia and are affected by this news, let us know in the chat or in the comments or whatever. But speaking of things that are getting canceled, what was canceled before is not anymore. Gio, tell us about that because
So
it was leaked, and then oh yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
So Netflix is ordering a 24 episode Sonic show. I'm excited for this. Just because I'm a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. I know a lot of people like to bash on him, and his fandom can be. Never look up Sonic fan art. I'm going to just preface this. Never look up Sonic fan art. But they're going to order a 24 episode Sonic show. I don't know what the format of the show is going to be like, but we've had a variety of different Sonic shows throughout the years, right? We had Sonic X, which was the anime-looking show that was on the Fox box back in the day. We have the original Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, the Saturday morning cartoon.
Uh-huh.
Mikey, I don't know if you remember this.
I think that's the one I watched actually.
It's the one where Sonic was voiced by Urkel.
I didn't know that. That was a fun fact. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, Sonic.
No.
It was the one where it was like a Saturday morning cartoon, and he was eating chili dogs and stuff. Then they had Sonic Underground, which was really fucking weird, because what it was is like Sonic had like siblings now, and they all played musical instruments in a band. Then you had the other Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon that was like more story based. It was based on like the Archie comics, where it had Bunny Robot and Princess Sally and other characters. And they had the Sonic Boom, which was the newest one, which was the 3D animated one, which people said was actually a pretty good kids show. And in fact, people said that the show almost redeemed the games because the games were really bad. But yeah, I don't know what format these Sonic games are going, or the Sonic show is going to take, but I'm excited for it. And the fact that they're just announcing this news now makes me think that this is part of the reason why they pushed out the voice actor that we talked about last week.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they're going in a new direction with Sonic.
Yeah, so maybe that's a reason why they're changing voice actors, because they're going into a new direction with this show. And there is a new Sonic game that supposedly Sonic Team has been working on for about 2 years now. So we'll see.
Cool.
But
nice.
Anyways, speaking of things going fast, tell me about all these developments at Disney Plus and the Wakanda Vision Wakanda TV show.
Yeah, so now that WandaVision is taking off and it is amazing, now there's other Disney Plus shows in talks. And just this week, the director of Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, was in talks with Disney, and they entered into a 5-year overall exclusive deal with his production company, Proximity Media. And he said, "It's an honor to be partnering with the Walt Disney Company. Working with them on Black Panther was a dream come true. As avid consumers of TV, we couldn't be happier to be launching our TV business with Bob Iger, Dana Walden, and all the amazing studios under the Disney umbrella. We look forward to learning, growing, and building a relationship with the audience all over the world. And we will be taking our first leap with Kevin Feige, Louis D'Esposito, and their partners at Marvel Studios, where we will be working closely with them on select MCU shows for Disney+. We're already in the mix on some projects that we can't wait to share." So he said multiple MCU shows for Disney+. So, and people are thinking, like, oh shit, Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther, getting to MCU TV. So are we going to see a Wakanda TV show? So
We'll see.
I'm excited for that. Like, would you watch a show with?
About Wakanda?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I'd watch that. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've been super let down by anything. Well, I don't want to say let down. There hasn't been anything MCU or that I've watched that I could say like, yo, that was fucking trash.
yeah.
Maybe there are things that I'm let down by. I mean, some of the movies weren't as good as some of the others, but I wouldn't say like they were complete garbage. So I'm excited for this.
Well, one last question: do you think a show about Wakanda could work without T'Challa?
Yeah, I think if you can go into kind of like the society and how different it is and the different hierarchies as well as the different groups, like you saw the different tribes that were there. So I think it'd work.
Yeah. Well, speaking of franchises with huge worlds, tell us about what's happening at Universal Studios with Mario's Kingdom.
The FOMO is real, y'all. The FOMO is fucking real. So much so that Universal decided to put out a full walkthrough ride view of everything that you could do at Super Nintendo Land in Universal Studios Japan in Osaka. There was videos of the Mario Kart ride, the Yoshi ride, the gift shop, the restaurants, and as well as the character meet and greets, as well as the little walkthrough attractions. Me and Mikey, before we started the show, I remember showing him the video that they put out with Mr. Miyamoto, where it's kind of a preview of what you could do. And they pretty much expanded it to where, like, okay, we gave you a preview, but we know that we're not going to open up to the public. So here's everything that you can do. And let's start off with my impressions, right? So I watched the Mario Kart video an insane amount of times. Like, I want to say probably around 15 to 20 times I've watched that video.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. Because that's what I was most looking forward to. So I watched it twice with one version with the AR, because there are AR goggles that allow you to see the other racers and
that's
how
cool.
you can pick up power-ups and shoot them at other racers. And there is a version where you see without the AR goggles. So when I first watched it with the AR goggles, I was a little disappointed because it looked a little screen heavy to me. And I was like, that's I knew Universal was gonna pull this, blah blah. I was pissed off. But then you watch it without the AR goggles, and they have really pretty good set designs there. A lot of it is actual physical sets. Now, you don't get to see animatronic racers driving alongside you like I would hope, but I'm sure that with the AR goggles, it looks just amazing. And not only that, but the food that they showed looks amazing. So,
could you compare that ride to like a Disneyland ride or like a theme park ride, other theme park rides?
Think of no, I wouldn't say it's like. I think the closest thing you can compare to is like Midway Mania, but I wouldn't really say that's a super comparable ride, because Midway Mania, you stop and you shoot at things.
Yeah,
like
the Toy Story ride at California Adventure.
Yeah, and also this one is constantly moving at a faster speed. It's not as fast as I would have liked. I was hoping a Mario Kart ride would be more like a roller coaster, but I'm pleased with what I saw. It wasn't mind blowing. It wasn't Rise of the Resistance level, but I'm excited to get there. Nice. But and I'm excited to eat all the delicious food. But speaking of delicious food in Japan, tell me about this Crunchyroll deal.
So what's happening with Crunchyroll now that anime is growing bigger and bigger? The communities are getting bigger, and like the fan base are growing, which means bigger companies are now partnering with Crunchyroll to make movies and TV shows. And one of them is Idris Elba's production, Green Door Pictures, and also his wife's company, Pink Towel Pictures. And they're going to develop this anime called Dantai. I don't know, but it's described. It's a working title. They wanted to put that out. It's described as a dark, Afrofuturistic sci-fi series set in a city where the rise of biotechnology has created an ever-widening gap between the haves and have-nots. The show follows two rising stars from either side of this divide who are pitted against each other in a story that will ultimately explore equality and kinship within a corrupt society. And so the GM of Crunchyroll said for more than a decade, through anime and anime-inspired originals, Crunchyroll has been leading the charge for popularization of adult dramatic animation, and we are fast becoming the epicenter for the next generation of animation fans, as is evidenced by our incredible growth in registered users and subscribers. So Gens Y and Z have experienced superhero fatigue and are hungry for new stories and ideas that our creators can tell. This development deal with Idris Elba is another example of how we're working with the best in-class partners to bring in new audiences and tell fresh and compelling stories through a medium that transcends generations and genres. And as of now, Crunchyroll has surpassed 4 million subscribers. And I feel like with quarantine and lockdown, I mean, now that it's still lighting up, but I think it's going to grow even more because people have been watching a lot of TV shows and now delving into anime. Like my sister.
I'm not gonna lie. My views, or not my views, my watching of anime has probably increased like tenfold because of quarantine. Also, it's always good to see diversification. You know, with Idris Elba, you want to see more representation in anime. It's always good to see.
Yeah, and like speaking of teaming up, there's actually two teams going against each other this weekend, and that is the Super Bowl. Gio, tell us about the Super Bowl.
All right, so Super Bowl, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City football team going head to head at Tampa Bay. So this will be the first time in Super Bowl history that a team is playing at home for the Super Bowl. So Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are playing the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay.
What?
So that I think is a big boom for them. We're going to see them take on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City football team with a halftime show by the weekend. There's going to be a lot of hype surrounding this game because it's essentially, it could be potentially either a passing of the torch or Tom Brady solidifying his status as the GOAT. So right now, as far as the game is concerned, right, as far as who I'm picking for, who I'm rooting for, I'm going to say this right now. I'm rooting for Tom Brady because fuck Kansas City and their fans and their team and their players and their coach and as a whole fan base as a collective. But I think that if you were to put both of these teams on paper, right, Kansas City probably has the three best players on the team, right?
Who are
Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill.
Powerhouse.
I would argue that because there's 11 players on the field, right? I would argue that if you were to kind of look at the teams for the next, from 4 to 11, that 9 to 10 of those players belong to Tampa Bay. So I would say that overall, Tampa Bay has a better team. They have a better defense, and they can run the ball. I think they're going to be able to run the ball against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City football team, and they'll be able to keep him off the field, and they'll be able to win this one out. That's who I'm going for. I'm going for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this, and Tom Brady to solidify his status as the GOAT.
Yeah.
But, moving on from that, speaking of things that a bunch of Americans are going to watch, Mikey, tell me about the Golden Globes.
Wait, do a lot of Americans watch the Golden Globes? But
Actually, I don't know. I think so.
well, anyways, nominations were announced this week, and David Fincher's film Mank leads with 6 nominations. With the movie is pretty much a love letter to old Hollywood, so of course Hollywood is going to nominate that. And what was surprising to me was that Spike Lee's The Five Bloods was completely snubbed from any nominations, which I thought was kind of appalling because that was a great movie.
I'm not surprised.
yeah, it was. I forgot the supporting actor, but he should have been nominated. And but anyways, Hamilton and Borat are nominated in the same category, which is best musical or comedy. So I don't know if it's fair to compare those because Hamilton and Borat are completely different things, and yeah, I don't know how you can have them compete against each other. And also, what was surprising that Aaron Sorkin's Trial of the Chicago 7 and Regina King's One Night in Miami were both nominated along with David Fincher for Best Director. And it's kind of interesting because Aaron Sorkin's a writer and Regina King's an actress, but they're becoming a hybrid now. Everyone's becoming a one-man show. And also, Chadwick Boseman got a posthumous nomination for Best Actor in a Drama for his role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is on Netflix. It's actually his final on-screen performance before he passed. And people are saying it's one of his best performance ever. And yeah, and also the Golden Globes are going to be hosted by Tina Fey and Amy Poehler on different coasts due to COVID. So it's the first time in Golden Globes history that it's going to be simultaneously airing from two different coasts. And I don't know if Hollywood are going to show up because the whole point of the Golden Globes is to watch actors make themselves look dumb because they're just drinking all night. And but anyways, the Golden Globes are happening at the end of the month on February 28th. So yeah, if you feel like watching that. But speaking of things that have moved online, a Demon Slayer event has also moved online. Right, Gio? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So originally, Demon Slayer, I don't know the Japanese title off the top of my head. I apologize to the true weebs in the crowd. But the Demon Slayer is an anime that came out in 2019 and has become a fucking phenomenon. That this is like the new hype anime people are talking about. There was the anime was released in 2019. The movie was released last year. And I just recently started watching the series, Mikey, and I gotta say, I think the hype is more so or less justified. I think the animation is gorgeous. The story is pretty standard shonen fare, but I'm really enjoying it so far.
Wait,
now,
what's the premise of Demon Slayer, real quick?
The premise of Demon Slayer is demon slaying. But no, the premise of Demon Slayer is basically you have this kid, Tanjiro, who goes to the village to go sell some things. When he comes back, he finds that his siblings and his mother have been massacred, but his younger sister is still alive. And he basically finds out that she's been turned into a demon, but she doesn't kill him or attack him.
Okay.
She doesn't. So basically, he's trying to find out a way to bring her back as a human. So he becomes a demon slayer in order to kind of learn how to fight, but also kind of try to find out the mystery behind the demons and if he can find a way to save her.
All right.
So it's pretty good.
Well, let me give you another 2 minutes because I took a minute of your time with that question.
Matt Agdick in the chat says, "Is this a Baruto knockoff?" Sir, I don't know what Baruto is, but if you're saying Boruto or if you're saying Naruto, then maybe you should learn to get your animes right, you fucking nooblet. Yeah. But anyways, there was an event to celebrate the second anniversary of the Demon Slayer anime. Uh-huh. It was supposed to be a 2-day, 3-stage event.
Ooh.
That was going to be in person, but we know because of Corona that it has all been moved online. Which, for people like me who don't live in Japan and would have no way of getting there, this is actually, good news for me. But what people are hoping is that they supposedly are going to have a surprise announcement, which could mean hopefully season 2 is being announced, because as of right now, there's only one season in the movie. I'm only one way through the first season, but I can already tell that I'm not going to be satisfied with that first season. I'm going to want to watch more. So
how many episodes?
We get 25 episodes.
Okay.
I'm on episode 17, so I'm almost done.
Dang, 25 episodes in a movie, and it already took over Miyazaki's movie. That's crazy.
Yeah, it only 25 episodes in the movie, and it's the highest grossing film in Japanese box office history. Like, not just animated movies, but fucking
everything. I didn't know that. What the fuck?
No, everything. Everything. But yeah, Demon Slayer's hype. I'm excited. Hopefully this announcement is that a season 2 is coming out. And yes, sir, I'm excited. Long live anime. And anyways, speaking of things that nerds go crazy over, Mikey, tell me about what's up with this GameStop movie.
So, because of last weekend with the GameStop and Wall Street situation, Hollywood is going crazy about it in regards to making a movie about it. So, MGM and Netflix are producing movies about that situation, but Netflix has an Oscar-winning writer, Mark Bowl, who wrote The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30, and he also wrote the campaign for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare that had Kevin Spacey in the campaign.
Oh, that's troubling.
Yeah, it's pretty troubling because kids play that game. Anyways, Netflix already has an actor, Noah Centineo. He's from To All the Boys I've Loved Before and Charlie's Angels reboot. So yeah, Netflix already has a writer and an actor ready to go with the GameStop movie. And this writer, he's a writer who can adapt with the times, because when he was writing Zero Dark 30 with Captain Bigelow, the original movie was supposed to have an unsatisfying ending because they couldn't find Bin Laden, but then Obama said, I found him. And then so they quickly rewrote the movie to reflect that event and became an Oscar-nominated movie. So, like, this writer, he can put in relevant events into great storytelling. And it's not just TVs or movies that are in development. There's a TV show in the works, which is literally called To the Moon. This TV show is going to follow two roommates laid off from their jobs at GameStop and AMC, and who turned COVID into lemonade. This is from the description of the show. Who turned COVID into lemonade by using their stimulus check to dip into the world of day trading. It's supposed to be like The Big Short meets Reddit in this chronicle of the movement that grabbed Wall Street by the wallet and chucked it all the way to the moon. That timing. Anyways, speaking of...
Real quick, Heavy.
So,
Ark in the Whack in the chat says Zero Dark 30 is one of the worst fucking things he's ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
And I would implore you, sir, have you ever watched Infinity Light 60?
Okay, speaking of movies getting developed and getting picked up, tell me about Questlove's documentary.
All right, so for those of you who have I'm sorry, I'm laughing over my stupid fucking joke. For those of you who don't know, Questlove is the drummer for The Roots, seminal, phenomenal hip-hop group based out of Philadelphia. I love The Roots. Please listen to their music. They are amazing. But the drummer Questlove, who is known for his podcast series on Pandora, Questlove Supreme, has also taken up the mantle of being a director. Mikey, you talked about earlier about people being a hybrid. We now have musicians kind of crossing over into film, and Questlove directed his documentary, The Summer of Soul, also known as When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. Now, the thing about this film is that it is a documentary surrounding the 1969 Harlem Cultural Festival. It was a 6-week music festival held in Harlem that held some of the biggest names in music, such as Sly and the Family Stone, not Sly Stallone. What the fuck? Sly and the Family Stone, Gladys Knight.
Oh shit, Rocky.
Nina Simone and Stevie Wonder. This movie actually won 2 awards at Sundance, and it actually broke the record. I think it broke the record for $12 million. $12 million for documentaries at Sundance, beating Apple and A24's Boy State from last year. So, I'm excited to watch this. I'm usually not really big on documentaries, but concert documentaries with like a bunch of footage of, things that I wish I could have experienced, that could have been there for. I'm excited for, so I'm hyped for this.
But
It seems like
but
it's
Arkin
gonna
the
be.
Wax says, but you don't know anything about hip hop. You never even been to Hyro Day.
I'm gonna shoot you, Ark in the Whack. I'm going to shoot you. Anyways,
Wait, so is that the end of our show?
I don't think so. Maybe. Wait. Why don't you tell us, Mikey? Is that the end of our show?
Okay, no, it's not. Because we have a whole another list of topics to talk about. And starting with Star Wars, there's rumors. Actually, it's not even rumors anymore. Because as I was researching for this story, there is no, evidence showing that Aspire Media is going to be the studio that will do the canonical reboot / reimagining of Knights of the Old Republic. And BioWare, who were the original developers of this game, are not involved with this. And even though... What?
I said, oh, what?
Yeah, even though EA still has the Star Wars exclusive license for another 2 years, it seems like developers have been given the green light to start, developing. So, like, for example, Ubisoft is developing their own Star Wars game right now. It's supposed to be an open world game, and the creative director behind The Division 2 is behind it. So, I liked The Division when it first came out. Hopefully, they don't ruin this game with updates like they did with The Division. And a person on Twitter named MaroNL3 saw that Aspire Media is currently trying to hire former BioWare developers for a project. And now that we know that Aspire Media is working on Knights of the Old Republic, it seems like they're trying to get the old gang back from the original developers to go back on Knights of the Old Republic. And yeah, and it's not the first Star Wars project. Aspire Media has also worked on porting various Star Wars PC games to Mac and iOS, and porting Jedi Academy and Jedi Outcast to the PS4 and Switch. And also, EA's latest earnings call said they made $3 billion off the Star Wars franchise, and they're not slowing down on any development, even though other developers are making Star Wars games. And $1 billion of that revenue was just from that mobile game, Galaxy of Heroes. So I'm kind of glad they're not slowing down development, because Battlefront 2 and Jedi Fallen Order were great games. And hold on, I still got a little bit more regarding Star Wars. And speaking of Battlefront, both games are getting an official soundtrack release, following Epic Games Store giving away Battlefront 2 for free, making it hit 19 new unique million players. And yeah, and other related news. The Cassian Andor show got the writer from The Crown. Ewan McGregor says he starts shooting the Kenobi show in the spring on the same set as The Mandalorian. And also the Bad Batch Clone Wars spin-off show will start airing in the spring. But speaking of long-lasting franchises, tell me about this long, ongoing anime named One Piece.
Look, let me get into my bag real quick. One Piece is the greatest. One Piece is the greatest series when it comes to storytelling ever. I will argue this to the death in all mediums. You want to talk adventure, fantasy, sci-fi, whatever fucking medium, nothing is beating One Piece. This shit has been going on for fucking 30 years? I want to say.
What? Wait, really?
It's been it might be.
Oh, whoops, clock.
When did it start? The One Piece started in. No, not 30 years. It's been going on for over 20 years. 23 years?
Damn.
God, I don't even know. I think it's 1998 was when it came out. So 23 years?
Wow.
No. Yeah, 23 years. So it has been going on for 23 years. I've been watching this shit since I was a fucking child.
Wait, so you watched it when it launched?
When it first launched in America.
Oh, wow.
I started reading the manga when I was I want to say a 7th grader. Anyways, it was just recently announced that One Piece has over 480 million copies of its manga in circulation. It has over 400 million copies in circulation in Japan and over 80 million copies in over 42 countries and territories outside of Japan. To put this in perspective, as of last April, so a little bit less than a year ago, it had 390 copies in circulation in the world. So it has been going strong. One Piece has been going strong. And not only that, but they just hit their 1000th chapter this year. I want to say they hit chapter 1000 at the beginning of this year. And not only that, but it is on its way to probably being the longest running manga series in history, because the author is still nowhere near done. He says there is at least 5 years left on One Piece. So I'm excited for it. We're in quarantine. Fucking read One Piece. Some people say they don't like the art. Those people are fucking stupid. Anyways, speaking of people who are stupid, Mikey, tell me about people who buy Dogecoin instead of Ethereum, and why Ethereum is better.
Well, so, I mean, Dogecoin is literally a meme. There's no backing behind it. It was just created literally as a joke. But what isn't a joke is Ethereum, because it actually has technology behind it. And yeah, this crypto thing might be taking off, because just last year, Ethereum was just $85. And just in the last week, Ethereum got a big 23% increase in gain from 1,300 to currently 1,700. So, and it might be more with some like these Ethereum events coming up. But anyways, so people are saying like, well, what the hell is ETH and crypto? Well, it's built on this technology called blockchain, and these game developers are making a game built on the Ethereum blockchain using this engine protocol. And this game is actually called Age of Rust. It's supposed to be a sci-fi action game that explores a vast 250,000 square kilometer digital universe. And its central theme is humanity fighting against a class of AI robots called mechs. And the description of the game reads, humans lost the war, but encrypted the code preventing mechs from immortality at the last moment. And it's been in development since 2014, and is aiming to be an immersive educational blockchain experience for newcomers into the crypto space. And so what they did was, in the game, they set aside crypto bounties that are currently worth almost $1 million today, $929,000 to be exact. And the game contains 24 Bitcoin, like actual Bitcoin, and 37,000 engine crypto coins, which are kind of like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Those are going to be within the bounties, and the biggest bounty in the game is 20 Bitcoin, which is currently worth $600,000. But yeah, so the game Age of Rust will launch on Steam for $14.99 on March 19th, and I will definitely be playing that game on stream after I buy it off of Steam. But speaking of collaborations, Chio, what can you tell me about this Levi's collaboration with Pokemon, of all things?
So, Levi's has been getting in their bag with collaborations. Last year, they did a Super Mario collaboration, which I bought a lot of stuff from. I want to say more than I should have, being that it's a little pricey. But Levi's has also announced that they are releasing a Pokemon collab line, and that will go on sale on February 19th on their online store. I don't know if they're going to release anything in store because of Corona, but I'm excited. I might buy. There's this jacket jean combo that is like it looks like a forest green with like a bunch of separate Gen 1 Pokemon on it. Also, they're releasing an official cosplay outfit for Misty. Like, it's the actual like outfit from the show with the the shorts with the red overall straps and the yellow shirt. So,
Oh shit! Are you gonna get it?
no, I wouldn't look good in it. But I'm probably gonna get that jacket and that those pants. They're also releasing backpacks, scarves, another jean jacket with Pikachu on it. It's gonna be mostly Gen 1 stuff. I know a lot of people complain about Pokemon being oversaturated with Gen 1 Pokemon, but that's because that's where most of the people who are our age now have the nostalgia for. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think I stopped playing after 2nd Gen, but then I recently got back into Pokemon. But I have some friends who played like every gen, and I'm like, that's insane amount.
That's a lot of Pokemon.
It is a lot of Pokemon. I'm surprised they haven't hit over 1,000 Pokemon yet, but they're probably getting close. I think they're at like 700 or 800.
Damn.
But anyways, speaking of people with loser hobbies, tell me about Warhammer.
Well, speaking of Warhammer, they just announced Warhammer 3 with the new trailer with the cinematic with the Kislev. That shit was hella dope. People have been waiting to play Demon since Warhammer Mark of Chaos, which, by the way, had an incredible score. Yeah, and Kislev and Cathay have been designed in collaboration with Games Workshop, which, by the way, they are working directly with Games Workshop, which is crazy.
What?
And also, they are confirmed for Warhammer, the old world, and the quote said, "On the border between the worlds, two mighty kingdoms stand sentinel, the stern warriors of Kislev and the vast empire of Grand Cathay. But each is beset by its own trials, and now both have cause to cross the threshold and send their armies into the realm of chaos." And I was like, oh shit. Never thought they would have considered these two factions and all four chaos gods? Holy shit, dude. And, because in the description, and it says, and there's one who schemes to achieve that just an ancient figure who desires nothing less than to wield supreme power. But to succeed, he will need a champion. So, was that a hint to Nagath or Be'lakor? I don't know. But what I do know is that the Bear Cavalry is hella dope. And if you own all three games, that could be close to the entire world, which is massive. Now they just need the Ind, Nippon, Araby, Albion, Southern Realms, and the Dogs of War just to make the human factions feel whole. But yeah. Anyway, so the game is slated for release in late 2021, but you are able to pre-purchase it on Steam right now for a free race pack. And there's more details on that coming soon. But yeah, check out the trailer on YouTube along with that dev's video. And yeah, that's Warhammer. And speaking of another franchise with a dedicated fan base, Gio, tell me about EVE Online.
Holy fucking shit, dude. Man, you want to talk about losers? Let's talk about people who play EVE Online, right? EVE Online has just set a Guinness World Record for the most costly video game battle online. The massacre at M2XFE cost two of EVE Online's biggest factions an estimated total of $378,000 or 378. Sorry, hold on. Let me read this number right. I can't fucking read numbers. The $378,000. The battle was a part of an ongoing universe-spanning war that cost over $700,000. Right? It was that's a massive amount, right?
That's huge.
5,000 players from EVE's Poppy and Imperium factions collided in M2XFE's region near a keep star. Right? Earlier that day, a lone Imperium pilot managed to disable a Sinojammer, allowing the Imperium to bring in additional reinforcements. It is fucking crazy the lengths that these people would go to win these EVE Online battles. I gotta say, man, Why the fuck would you spend over $700,000 on a fucking video game? I don't get it, Mikey.
Well, you got to have a fleet. You got to buy the fleet. You can't come from nowhere.
Mad Addict says, this Nintendo player has the audacity to talk on EVE Online. Yes, I do, because I'm having fun, not losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. You fucking twat. Get the fuck out my face.
Bro has hundreds of amiibos in the background.
Hey, listen, my amiibos are stored, all right? So I don't want to hear your shit, all right? And first of all, I have less than 100. I only have about 80. So kiss my ass, Mad Addict. But I think it's pretty astonishing that well, one, this battle lasted 14 hours. Do these people not have jobs? I mean, I'm guessing, like, based on my personal experience of knowing people who play EVE Online, they probably don't have jobs because they play for 14 hours a day. But I gotta say, you gotta commend the effort and the dedication these people have to fucking EVE Online, because I'm almost astonished. I'm astonished that people have this much of a of a commitment to it. Ark in the Wax says, I think selling drugs is easier than playing EVE Online. You are not wrong. You're probably not wrong. Anyways, speaking of I don't even know. Speaking of niche things, tell me about Final Fantasy. What's going on with that, Mikey?
So, Square Enix just announced that there's going to be an open beta for the PS5 starting on April 13th. And they promised that it will run in 4K resolution and has a vastly improved performance and is fully optimized and playable at no extra cost for those already registered in the PS4 game. And they also announced that there's going to be a new expansion pack for the game called Endwalker, which comes out in fall 2021.
Let's fucking go!
Which has a bunch of new jobs, new eras, and a new level cap that goes up all the way up to 90. And it's also supposed to end the storyline that began when the game was first launched. So the game currently has over 20 million players and is now coming to the PS5 to take Quest to the next level. And so there's a trailer out on YouTube, and it's Final Fantasy XIV is available on PS5 via backwards compatibility. But like many other PS4 games as of recent, they're getting upgrades, and those upgrades are fully harnessing the PS5's power to give a better overall experience for the player. So, do you play this right now, Gio?
No, but I just like rooting for anything Final Fantasy because I'm a fanboy.
Yeah, I was thinking, I want to get into an MMO, but now that there's going to be a Star Wars MMO, that's going to be the one.
I just don't have the time commitment for MMOs, because like I know that like a majority of people who play MMOs, they it's like you stop playing most other games because you're just committed to that game. And I can't even commit to fucking Animal Crossing, so I don't think I'm cut out for MMOs.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being committed to the game, and not MMOs, but a different three-letter variation, but the NBA, the first returns on the All-Star votes have been revealed. Gio, what can you tell me about that?
All right, so the first returns of All-Star votes have been revealed. The top vote getters on the Eastern and Western Conference have been revealed. Not surprisingly, it's LeBron James, who plays for the Los Angeles Lakers, was a top vote getter in the West. Kevin Durant, who plays for the Brooklyn Nets, was a top vote getter in the East. Running down the list, let's look at it. I'm going to run it down real quick. In the West, or in the East, let me start off with the East. As far as guards go, Bradley Beal's number one, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Trae Young, Colin Sexton, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, and Ben Simmons. It's nice to see Derrick Rose there. He's had a career that's been up and down. It's good to see him get some flack. As far as the front court, so this is players who play power forward, center, or small forward. Kevin Durant, then Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't say his name. Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Domantas Sabonis, Julius Randle, Gordon Hayward, and then Jeremiah Grant. As far as the guards let's talk the Western Conference front court. LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Paul George, Zion Williams, Andrew Wiggins, Christian Wood, Brandon Ingram, Carmelo Anthony. What the fuck? Who voted for Melo?
Don't hate on Melo.
And as far Melo is been washed for like a couple of years. As far as the guards go, Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, Damian Lillard, John Morant, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, C.J. McCollum, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Klay Thompson. Now, I got 20 seconds left, but let me say this:
you can go over.
Why the fuck is Klay Thompson have so many goddamn votes? He's been injured for like 2 years now. He hasn't played a game since 2019. Go fuck yourselves, you fucking Warriors fans. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? He hasn't played. Also, real quick, I want to end this. LeBron James and De'Aaron Fox, who plays for my beloved Sacramento Kings, who should be in the top 3 of the NBA vote getting in guards. Go fuck yourselves, NBA fans. I've both spoken out against players playing the All-Star game. They say that it's a joke. It's a slap in the face to players.
You mean Seattle?
But
Arcano Access.
But De'Aaron Fox said that money makes the world go round, and this is kind of seen as speaking out against how the NBA is handling the All-Star game. Because if they're so big on COVID, why are we taking an extra risk by doing this?
True.
But anyways, speaking of risks and speaking of sports, Mikey, tell me what's up with the UFC.
So, there's a UFC tonight, and there's a heavyweight MMA fighter who has won a championship belt in literally every single fighting organization he's ever fought in. And he even went over to the sport of kickboxing and won multiple championship belts over there, and the sport of kickboxing had to change the rules of the game because he was just so dominant. But now he's back in MMA chasing one more final championship gold that he has not earned yet, and that is the UFC heavyweight championship belt. And the fighter's name is Alistair Overeem, and he fights tonight in the main event against a tall, scary Russian fighter named Alexander Volkov. So Overeem has been fighting since the 90s. He has wins in every decade, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now the 20s. He is 47 wins and 18 losses, and 42 of those wins are by stoppage, either by TKO, knockout, or submissions. He has the 4th most knockouts in the division with 9, the 2nd most knockdowns in the division with 10, and he lands 74.8% of his significant strike attempts. So every strike he attempts, he lands 3 out of 4, like 74%. Like, geez. It's the highest accuracy rate in MMA history. But he has a glass jaw. He gets KO'd easily, and he has 14 knockout losses. And so he has 18 losses total. So 14 of those 18 are by knockout. He has a glass jaw. And his opponent, Alexander Volkov, 21 of 31 his 31 wins are by knockout, and he's 31-8. So 21 of his 31 wins, he knocked the dude out, and he's fighting Alistair Overeem, and that's the main event. And that's the co-main. Frankie Edgar is there tonight too, and yeah, he has the most fight time in UFC history with 7 hours and 40 minutes, the 4th most strikes behind Max Holloway, and he has the most takedowns in the UFC, right behind GSP and Demetrius Johnson. And yeah, he's fighting an up-and-comer. His name is Corey Sandhagen, who's 13-2. So it's a big test for Frankie Edgar to see if he still got it. But yeah, anyways, so that's for UFC. Gio, what can you tell me? I don't know how to segue into this at all, if there's no connection there. But what can you tell me about Studio Ghibli's and the House Castle?
All right, so Studio Ghibli, for those of you who aren't aware, for you uncultured swines out there, Studio Ghibli is the studio behind all the Miyazaki movies as well as other movies behind their belt. They're pretty much seen as the Disney of Japan. Um, I guess yeah, you could say that they are basically the Disney of Japan. I don't agree too much with the agreement, but they are building a theme park, which has been announced before. It was announced in 2015 that they were building their own theme park due to coronavirus. It has been pushed back from 2022 to 2023, which is unfortunate. But they just started releasing construction on a giant recreation of Howl's Moving Castle, of the actual castle. No, unfortunately, it won't move. And if you look at the picture down below on screen, that's essentially what they say it's going to look like. It's like a preview they gave. It's not built yet, but it's going to be a giant replica. The theme park itself is going to be it's going to have 5 sections, 5 worlds. It's going to have a Ghibli warehouse where it's going to have a bunch of different sections from a bunch of their different movies, like The Secret Life of Arrietty. They're going to have a Witch Valley, which takes place in Kiki's Delivery Service. They're going to have Princess Mononoke's castle, or not castle, Princess Mononoke's village. And they're going to have hold on, let me see how if I can spell this. A Dondoko Mori, which is an area that's going to celebrate My Neighbor Totoro, and a youth hill with attractions to The Cat Returns and the movie Whisper of the Heart. And this is where the Howl's Moving Castle replica is supposed to be built at. Honestly, this is dope as fuck. I'm excited for it.
When are they supposed to finish?
What's that?
2023. Okay. Damn.
2023.
2 years.
This gives me another reason to go back to Japan. I probably will go to Japan like every year if I can afford it, or maybe every other year. But this gives me more and more reasons to go.
Would you want to live there eventually?
Huh?
Would you want to live there?
Shit, it's hard to find as a foreigners. It's hard for them to find jobs in Japan. From my research. So I probably wouldn't want to live there. I mean, maybe if I could find, a way to, if I meet someone out there and then marry, get dual citizenship, that's a whole different story. But, yeah. Anyways, I'm excited for it. Ghibli stuff is dope. And, yeah, and theme parks are dope. And, yeah.
Nice. So that brings us to the end of our show. And I believe you have a closing word for us, Gio.
I do.
Okay, well, by the way, after you close out, stick around. We'll come back after the show ends. Just saying.
All
right. Take it away, Gio.
All right, give me the one, Mikey.
You got it.
All right. So, record sales are at an all-time high, and when it be it PS5s or ticket sales for Demon Slayers, don't let people hate on your niche hobbies, whether it be Nintendo or Warhammer or Pokemon or EVE Online, even though you shouldn't be spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on a fucking video game. Always be sure to do you, and make sure that you just do what makes you happy, such as me, who is going to try to find a wife in Japan somehow, someday, maybe not. I'm gonna be alone forever. But anyways, don't be like me. And I will talk to you all later. This has been Gio
and Mikey
for the 1v1 show. Check us out on our socials. The 1v1 show on Instagram, and then the 1v1 show tweet at Twitter. And yeah, check us out at Patreon if you want to support us. We have various tiers where you can get various rewards at patreon.com/the1v1 show. And make sure you stick around for the post show, and we will talk to you all later. Yee.
And we're back. What's up, y'all?
We what
think-
up? What up?
I think that might have been our best episode yet. Best show
I
so
think
far.
so.
Biased because two topics were Warhammer Eve online. Win-win.
Shut up, you.
No, but yeah, I think that was our... You had a good flow, I think.
Yeah. Well, also we didn't have fucking technical difficulties. Also, earlier in the show, my brother kept knocking on the door. That's why I was like, "Get the fuck out of here."
What do you want?
He wanted to borrow some shoes.
Oh.
You fucking twat. But anyways, yeah, I think that was our best show yet. And yeah, I was very pleased with it. So hopefully we keep getting better and better and better, and we get more of a crowd.
Justin, what? You got some suggestions for us? Or Ark in the Whack? Good job, guys. Keep it up.
Or Commander Root.
No, that's...
You're in here.
Commander Root's a bot.
Oh, well, never mind then.
He's one of those bots that when people start streaming, they go in and they just monitor people's chat and monitor the views. I still like to block him. But yeah, Meta Addict says, do an in-depth movie review or hype. I mean, that's kind of what we sort of did in the beginning with our main topics with WandaVision, but we try to do it non-spoilery.
Yeah. I'm sure when like movies start coming out, we'll start doing more like hype in-depth movie reviews and stuff like that. Like I think Godzilla is going to be like a big one.
I still need to watch the Godzilla vs.
Godzilla.
Kong.
I haven't even seen any of them, so I'll probably just binge them one day.
Yeah.
Because they're probably all on HBO Max, right? I'm assuming.
Great show. I'd like to see a politics segment, to be honest. Joe, you take that one.
Politics segment. Huh. Ark in the Whack, I feel like we can talk about how we should all bend toward Democratic and Republican overlords, and the
Also,
people
your
should
crypto
not.
in depth is interesting, even though I'm not in it. It's still interesting to hear. Politics, finance. Oh, yeah. Gio, he's taking care of the Nintendo, anime, NBA, NFL stuff. And
Yeah.
then I do the Star Wars, MMA, crypto, fucking movie, film, production, and stuff. And so, like, we just cover...
Yeah,
bases.
I mean, basically, it's basically if it happens during the week, then we'll try to rope it in. That's basically what it is. So it's like one of those things where it's like the segments really depend on how like the news of the week and how it's flowing. Like we did go into a little bit of a like politics and crypto when they do relate to things like Twitch and things like that when they cross over. Are we a boomer show? I don't know. You're the one who doesn't know how to work a mic. Ark in the not Ark in the Whack. Mad Addict.
How's Boomer Show mentioned crypto? Boomers aren't even in crypto.
Boomers are buying Dogecoin.
I mean, now they are. Yeah, y'all could have talked about the stimulus going through.
I mean, that literally just happened yesterday.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. Hey, wait, the 1600,
Well, actually, I don't even,
1200? 14?
Didn't it just pass the House? I'm not sure if it passed the Senate yet.
I don't know, I've been all up in school because I started 1400. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just started school last week, and I've been all up into that.
We don't get the money until it passes both the House and the Senate.
Oh. Yeah. And I kind of hope they don't cancel student loans yet because I'm in school right now. I want to rack up my student loans real quick.
But don't Dems own the Senate? Yeah, they own. They have they control the 50-50 tiebreaker. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it passes. But I don't know if we do get the stimulus, I'm probably gonna pay off some debt and then put most of it into probably like pay off some debt and put half of it in crypto and the other half towards my trip.
I'm putting like 80% of that shit into various crypto coins because it's going great for me so far.
I'm gonna put all of it in GameStop.
Yeah. You buy Doge at 5 cents.
It's lit to the moon. To the moon.
I think that show's gonna be like Big Bang Theory, and it's not gonna last a season.
The crypto show?
Yeah,
Not crypto.
the To the Moon, the GameStop show.
It's so dumb. Oh, I thought that was a movie.
You know, there's 2 movies and a TV show in development.
Oh, god damn it. Who's gonna play Elon Musk?
I don't know. But yeah, I like how he said it. I'm gonna take a break from Twitter, and then not even a day later, he comes back memeing about Doge. And I noticed last night, within an hour increment, someone put $2 billion into Doge, causing the price to go up. And I have a feeling it was Elon. Like who just buys $2 billion of Doge within an hour?
He's just memeing.
He's memeing with billions of dollars. It's crazy. But yeah,
Because he has enough money to just throw around like that. So, like,
Elon, so stupid. Yeah, like, because I was like, okay, what made the price go up? And I was looking at the market cap, and it went from at 12:50 p.m. or something, or a.m. It went from 3 billion, and then at 1:45 it went to 5 billion. I was like, what the fuck? Someone just put $2 billion within that time frame, man. Like, who has $2 billion just to move around like that? And like, you get to do it not really anonymously, but discreetly, because it's on the blockchain. But yeah,
yeah. No, I know. Ah, dude, I'm hungry now.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Look, I got an Ethereum coin.
God damn it. You know what? Where's mine? Do I have... Where does it go? Oh, here it is. Hey, I bought these,
And then my Bitcoin.
I bought these Bitcoins off some guy off the street.
Oh shit, that's hella Bitcoin.
I'm a millionaire now. Like, these legit. Like, look, Bitcoin.
The fuck? Wait, is it really? No, it's not. Are those Scandia tokens?
No, they're from Imperium.
Oh yeah,
Emporium?
did Chuck E. Cheese close down?
I know. Did it?
Oh, because I just saw like a post. I forgot on where, but someone saying like, "Oh no, my childhood memories," talking about Chuck E. Cheese. I'm like, what?
Ah, that sucks.
I mean, I don't think they would have been able to open anyway, because considering the type of place Chuck E. Cheese is.
That's true. Damn. Fuck. If it does, it sucks. I love Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Yeah, no, Chuck E. Cheese pizza is actually really underrated. Maybe focus less on the segues between topics. Some of them fell for us. Y'all have a naturally good chemistry, so just let it flow. Just my opinion. Did you talk about... Yeah, our segues... Because we were doing that last week, and it was funny, but this week... Did you talk about EA losing a Star Wars license? Yeah, I talked about that with the Knights of the Old Republic talk. Like, I squeezed that in there with a bunch of Star Wars news. Like, Cassian Andor has the writer from The Crown. Ewan McGregor says he started shooting Kenobi on the Mandalorian set, starting in the spring. And the Bad Batch Clone Wars TV show also airs in the spring. And yeah, Ubisoft making an open world game.
Yeah, we talked 2 weeks ago too, I think.
Yeah, I talked about that, the Ubisoft thing, and then yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. God, I wanna. What should I have for lunch?
Salad.
Ugh, no. Ugh, salad maybe. I was thinking of getting a. I was gonna go to Trader Joe's and buy some chicken and just make it at home. Cause I have these 1 carb, no, 15 carb 1 calorie tortilla, which are they're not bad. I mean, they're not like actual like, corn tortillas, but they get the job done.
I actually went out yesterday for the first time.
Where'd you
but
go?
the comic book shop. But he was out on lunch, so he was closed. So I went back home.
Well, at least you didn't have to wait like.
Yeah, so like I'm missing out on 2 weeks of comics now.
At least
But
you
yeah.
didn't have to fucking wait like fucking 4 hours like we did that one day.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
it was
been
my first
meaning-
time going out since I got exposed to COVID because that was a bitch. Oh yeah, so my nephew, less than 1 year old, has COVID, and then so like they're just trying to just be aware of this sense of taste and stuff.
Hmm.
Congratulations, you received. Oh, sorry to hear that. Oh yeah, yeah. No, yeah. So my brother got COVID because he came here 2 Saturdays ago. And then with my nephew, and then said the following Tuesday, he started feeling symptoms, and then told us on Wednesday. And then I was like, oh, well, shit. And then, because I borrowed a car that I shared with my dad, and I was like, then my dad borrowed the car. I was like, oh, shit, then both my parents were exposed. And then my dad went to work, who goes all the way, delivers stuff all around the Bay Area. And I was like, well, shit. Just because he couldn't handle a video chat, almost infected the entire Bay Area. But we tested negative, and so did my parents, and so we're good. But that was a very close call.
But
So-
your nephew had.
Yeah, my nephew and my brother and sister-in-law both have COVID. My sister-in-law is going through it right now. My brother had just had a headache and couldn't taste anything. He said it was really weird. And now my sister-in-law is going through the worst of it right now. And
Oof.
yeah.
But your nephew, is he not showing? He's not showing symptoms.
I think. Well, they can't really tell because he's just a baby, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a little sick. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
so they're just all quarantining at their house right now,
Yeah.
and yeah, but yeah, I was eating like random ass shit every day since I found out, just to make sure my taste buds were still there. I was like, I would eat an Oreo, and then I would eat an orange right after, and then fucking just eat ramen with sriracha in it, and then like, okay, I was like double checking my taste buds, but yeah.
Have you ever heard of the milk test? It's like a prank you play on people,
No, what's that?
where you blindfold someone and ask them to try like see if they can tell the difference between different types of milk, like
Oh,
like
yeah.
fat, non-fat. But the last one is actually orange juice. But since like you're trying milk, and then you're not expecting the orange juice, like it just tastes rotten to you when you first hit it. So then like it's supposed to make you like throw up.
Interesting. I want to try that.
So yeah, we did it on one of this guy we knew in college. I want to say that like I don't want to say he was my friend because he was not, but he was this guy that hung around us in college, and he's really fucking annoying. So we didn't care if we did mean things to him. I mean, like
Yeah,
not like we were
that's mean.
bullying him. Okay, now that we were bullying him, we didn't care if we pulled pranks on him. Let's just say that.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's like when I was in college, like we started a club, but it wasn't a frat, but like we did like kind of frat shit sometimes. So we threw a couple ragers, and I miss college. College was fun.
Fun fact: if you had put your entire stimulus, your $1,200 stimulus last year, into Bitcoin, you would have had a 508% return. It would be $7,000 and $300 right now if you had just put.
Yeah.
Crazy. But I just had Fire Wings last week, or no, yesterday when I went out, because I was like, I need some variety in my food. And I was like, let's try Fire Wings again. And then they had a new Chipotle barbecue. It's actually pretty good. And but also overrated. I don't think I would go back to Fire Wings again. I think I'll just stick with Wingstop.
No, I like Fire Wings. I like the Peking sauce one. That's my favorite.
I tried the dragon sauce, and it was basically just a fried chicken nugget with a little seasoning on it. I don't know. It was bullshit.
Wait, do you get bone in or boneless?
Bone in?
Yeah, because
Wings.
boneless wings aren't the same.
Oh.
They're not even wings. They're fucking nuggets.
Yeah. Well, speaking of food, I'm gonna try to eat before I stream myself watching UFC later.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try and get some chicken. So
For sure.
later, y'all.
Right. Oh, and this YouTube thing later, Arkanwek. This YouTube thing is going to be on YouTube tomorrow, so you can edit it and stuff.
Oh yeah, just let me know. I'll edit that one. Did you ever upload the one from last week?
Oh shit! No, I did not.
Okay, I was wondering about that. All right, I'll hop in on it later.
All right then.
All right,
Later.
later. Late.